You do not have a time problem. You have a decision problem. Every leaking hour is proof that your priorities are unclear. Thank you for listening to Routine is Revenue, your place to build routines and bank results. I'm Ildikó Sealey, known as the Routine Queen, because I help business owners stop leaking time by installing habits that turn into routines that actually hold under pressure. This episode is for you if you are ambitious but constantly busy. You feel you are ready to stop leaking time instead of blaming the clock. Today, we're going to focus on prioritization clarity, understanding what genuinely matters in your business, in your career, and in your life, so you stop reacting to demands and start directing your day. It's about distinguishing between urgency and importance and creating structure that supports intentional action rather than the constant firefighting. So let me tell you something. Most business owners are not short of time. They are short of clarity. When everything feels important, you default to reacting rather than choosing. You bounce from task to email, email to message, message to requests, don't you? And that constant switching drains your energy. Does it feel familiar? It completely fragments your attention and leaves you feeling busy, but strangely unsatisfied at the end of the day. So if you do not decide what matters most, I can tell you that your inbox, your phone, and other people, they will all decide it for you. And that might not be so dramatic, but the cost adds up real quick. And you know that cost is not just inefficiency. It's the slow erosion of your momentum and your confidence. You see, over time, you will stop trusting your own decision. Do you find yourself questioning whether you are focusing on the right things at all? And when that self-doubt happens, even simple decisions begin to feel very heavy. So have a little think about it. Prioritization clarity gives you back direction. It gives you something really solid to orient around when everything feels noisy. It allows you to put your best energy into the few things that actually move the needle on for you. So instead of spreading yourself thin across everything that shouts the loudest. And when you know what truly matters, your day stops running you. And the real magic happens when you start directing your day. Would you like to see how to do that? Let's go. So prioritization clarity starts with accepting that not everything deserves equal attention. The goal is not to do more, but to decide better. When you are clear on what truly matters to you, your time stops being pulled in multiple directions. So this isn't about direction before discipline. Instead of constantly asking what you should do next, just take a step back and ask, what actually deserves my best energy right now? And that one shift alone reduces noise and restores a sense of control. So clear priorities act like a filter. Requests, opportunities, and tasks, they will no longer land straight on your plate. They pass through a lens of importance for impact and alignment. And that will change how your day unfolds. So you see, over time, this creates rhythm. Your days become more intentional, and your decision will feel cleaner. You will undoubtedly feel that you stop firefighting and start directing your day. And with that comes something that many business owners have lost, a trust in their own judgment. Prioritization clarity is not about rigid planning or perfect schedules. It's about giving yourself a stable reference point so your time, your energy, and your attention are used deliberately rather than reactively. Now, one of my clients realized while we were working through the time utilization module that a family situation had quietly taken over far more of her attention than she intended. And while she cared deeply, the emotional pool started bleeding into everything else, causing her focus to slip. So her time got fragmented, And before she knew it, her time-sensitive business project was drifting. This was not easy at all. She was torn between her responsibility to her business and her guilt about stepping back emotionally from someone that mattered. What shifted things for her, though, was not doing more, but getting clear on her priorities. During the session, she realized that supporting someone emotionally did not require unlimited access to her time and attention. So a few weeks later, she told me that her focus on her project was back on track and her head was clearer, and that the relationship stabilized without suffering. So this was the result because she applied prioritization, using the work we covered, and she set clear boundaries around when and how she engaged, all without abandoning compassion. And that is what prioritization clarity does. It helps you honor what matters without letting everything else take over. But what if nothing changes? What if you keep doing what you're doing now? What if you stay busy and you keep your days full, but you still end most weeks wondering where your time actually went? If that sounds way too familiar, this is very important. Because without prioritization clarity, urgency continues to run your day. Other people's needs keep taking precedence over what matters most to you. And slowly, that chips away at your momentum and your confidence. So maybe on the surface, nothing dramatic breaks, but nothing meaningful moves either. And that is the danger. When nothing changes, you start normalizing distraction and you end up calling it productivity. So over time, you stop directing your day and accept reacting as the default. But you see, that is not a time problem. That's actually a leadership problem. So when is the right time to get clear on what actually matters? It is when your days feel full but unfocused? Is it when effort is high but progress feels slow? Or is it when you realize that reacting is no longer working? Well, that time is not next quarter or after things calm down. That time is now. Because clarity changes how we use every hour that follows. And if this has landed, then it's time to take the next step. If this has highlighted where weak routines might be costing you clarity, your energy, and your momentum, then your next step is very simple. Visit my website, routinerevolution.co.uk, and see whether a one-to-one conversation is the right move for you. I'm leading the Routine Revolution by offering a small number of private conversations for business owners who want to structure and consistency without the burnout. Don't worry, there are no funnels, no pressure, just a little talk. Have a strong, intentional week, and remember, a healthier you makes a wealthier you.